You're welcome this morning once again. And then what we want to do basically today is just to review the market using the web analyzer as we used to do. We paused for a while and now we want to get started, all right, to trade together, to look at opportunities together. If we do not see any opportunity, then we don't take any trade, all right. Now, one of the things that Christopher Terry talked about yesterday in his meeting was that there's only a fool that want to be trading every day. As in, you just want to get in the market, whether it is right or not. No, you need to look for the best opportunities. You don't have to trade every day. The goal of everything that we are doing is to ensure that you have, consistent results. You're very consistent with your results, okay, with your profit. All right. So, having said that, we're going to move straight to the web analyzer. If you have web analyzer, that's cool, and if you don't have, it's also cool. All right. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Good to see you all in this meeting. Okay, so let me share my screen, webanalyzer.com, and then I will tell you how I've tweaked the strategy a bit to ensure that you have, you can catch more pips. To ensure that you can be more confident about the trade you're entering, okay? And then you can get out of a trade at the right time. If it's not working, you will know the right time to get out of the trade. That's what I want to teach you on Web Analyzer today. That's what I've discovered, developed myself. And that is why I called it ECC WoleOlu strategy, right? So I had to give it my name. Cool. Let's get started. Here's it. Now, let's look at Euro JPY was just called about 19 minutes ago. I actually wanted us to look at this, but we started too late. We should have looked at this since probably we should have even gotten into the trade. Okay. Now, once you click on this blue box, the first thing we want to do after doing our settings, we already know how to do our settings. Okay, I've taught you that, and if you don't know, check the induction videos that I sent on the group. You will see how the setting can be done. All right, now 15 minutes only checked. Now, the first thing I want to do is that I want to confirm the overall trend. Confirm the overall trend. And how will I do that? I can go to maybe 1 hour or 4 hours or 4 hours. Okay. And you can see that from 4 hours, it's as if it has started going up. This is like a support zone. You saw that. This is like a support zone, and it's like it has started going up. If you check on 1 hour, you can see that it has started going up as well. Okay, that is where I do my analysis to know the direction, the overall direction of the trade. Okay, you can see. Okay, now that means the Euro JPY is actually valid for a buy. That was called because the overall trend is saying buy. Okay, so let's check back on 15 minutes. Now, one thing I've tweaked now, one thing I've added to this is that you will need to change your candle. This is a normal candle. You will need to change your normal candle to a momentum candle. What is a momentum candle? A momentum candle tells you the direction the trade is going. It tells you if the buys are having, if the buys are stronger than the sells. That's what a momentum candle tells you. Okay, it gives you confidence that, okay, we are still in the buy zone. We have not changed. Now, if I change this to a momentum candle, the momentum candle is called Aikin-Ashi candle. Look at this. You can see the spelling, Aikin-Ashi. I hope you've seen that. All right, so if I click on Aikin-Ashi candle, you will discover something different. What did you see? You see that it has just been blue throughout. It shows that the momentum is actually a buy momentum. If you look at the sell, What did you see here? Red, 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 red. You just saw a little blue, red, 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 red throughout. So it's either it shows you blue, 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 or red, 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 red. Okay? You can see this from here to here. Blue, 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 blue. You will only be seeing red in between blue, red in between blue, if it is a consolidated market. Okay, you can see blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. You can see that. That means that it's in consolidation. But when it starts moving, it's either you see the blues or you see the red, you see the blues, you see the red, you see the blues, you see the red. Now we are seeing the blues. Okay, now what is the idea about the strategy? We want to also confirm this same thing on 5 minutes. Okay, and then on 1 minute to ensure that we have similar thing. Okay, what do I mean by similar thing? You want to ensure that the candle you will get in is a blue candle. Okay, but we are basically using 15 minutes. But on 1 minute, what are the things you want to confirm? Your red above blue is still number one. Don't forget that. Your red above blue. So what do I mean by red above blue? Let's zoom in. You can see that at the moment you have our red below blue. At the moment we have our red below blue. At the moment we have our red below blue. You can see that red below blue. So we want to have red above blue. So this is what we are trying to look at. We want to see this red come up, okay? And then we want to see blue come down. All right, that's what we want to see on 1 minute, and then we want to see that on 5 minutes as well. And on 5 minutes, we already have that. We already have our red above blue. Okay. So I'm going to change it back to Akinashi candle. So how do you change yours to Akinashi candle? You might not see it there. You click, there's a drop down arrow here. Once you click on the drop down arrow, you will see the different kinds of, candles you can use or patterns. Okay, so I selected Akinashi. I starred it so that I won't have to be clicking the drop down menu. It's going to be here. Okay, so all you have to do is just to click on Akinashi. Once you click on Akinashi, it's going to show you that momentum. Okay, I'm going to show you that momentum. So how do you get into the trade? Once you have your confirmation, we are waiting for confirmation on 5 minutes blue candle. We are waiting for confirmation on 1 minute blue candle as well, and red above blue, right? Okay. Now, once you have entered the trade, after the confirmation, so we can't enter right now because we don't have the confirmation. We are waiting for what again? Red above blue on 1 minute. Okay. And a bullish candle. Also on 5 minutes, we already have our red above blue, but we just want to wait for a blue candle. Okay, just a blue or a green candle. After this, then 15 minutes, what else? We are already set on 15 minutes. Now, let's assume that all the conditions are met. You're going to go for Euro JPY, you're going to buy. Now, this strategy, the way I have tweaked it, you're going to stay in that buy as long as it gives you. This strategy doesn't use take profits. You go out manually, you just close it manually. So how would you know the right time to go out? As long as you're using the Akinashi candle, and as long that you're seeing blue candles, you are not seeing any red candles, stay in the trade. Do you understand? As long as you're not seeing red candle, you are confident that this is still in the buy direction, because Akinashi candle will not just be giving you red in between anyhow like that. Okay? Stay in the trade. What other confirmation do you need? Let me tell you the other confirmation on how you will know when to get out of the trade. Okay? How you will know. Notice something. Notice this. Our red line. Notice our red line. Our red line. Notice that all the candles are just lining up above the red line. They are just lining up above the red line. Now, once you discover that you now have a green or red line going below this your red line, going below this your red line, using Akinashi candle, don't forget, it is the time for you to exit the trade. Even though you see red candle, the red candle might be small, you can still hold on as long as it is still above your red line. Let's look at this example, for instance. If you are gotten for a sell here, look at this. If you are gotten for a sell here, you will be confident to stay in that sell because you have your red covering. It's covering the blue. It's covering your candles. Even though you can see a little blue here, a little green candle here, a little green candle here, but you can still be rest assured that it's coming down. But by the time you see this this green candle coming outside, staying above the red line, that is the time for you to exit the trade. So if you are taking this trade, the sell trade, for instance, if you are taking the sell trade, for instance, at this point, let's say, and then we stay, and then we left when this green candle formed, we'll have taken 15 pips. Do you get? Now, if we are taking this sell from the start, maybe from somewhere here, right now we'll be somewhere at 15 pips. But you know what? You will not rush out. You'll be confident because it is still above your red line. It is still above your red line. So stay in the trade, even if it's going to stay till 5 hours, 6 hours, as long as it is still above your trend line on 15 minutes. Okay? But right now we are looking for entries. Let's check 5 minutes if we have our entry on 5 minutes yet. Not yet. Let's check 1 minute if we have our entry on 1 minute. Yes, we are beginning to have our red blue candle on 1 minute. Okay, so what we are waiting for is our red to come above blue. That's what we are waiting for our red to come above blue. Okay, that's a Kinashi candle. All right, good.
Hello, Mr. Olu. Hello.
All right, yeah, you can ask your question. I can hear you.
Okay. For the 1 minute, we are no longer considering whether the lines or the candle are inside the cloud anymore. We are no longer considering that.
Yeah, for 1 minute, it is safer. Let me put it that way. It is safer for it to be above the cloud. It is safer. That's what I'll say. It is safer, but it doesn't mean that you can't get in using this particular strategy. It doesn't mean that you can't get it, but it is safer for it to be above the cloud. So if you want to be extra sure, for 1 minute, wait for the candles, all these candles, to be above the cloud. For people that are just joining us, this is the cloud. You can see the cloud, the cloud, the cloud. You can see I'm hovering around the cloud right now. So you want to ensure that, for instance, at this point, I'm coming. At this point, it is above the cloud. This point, it is above the cloud. All right. So for 1 minute, you want to ensure that the candles have gotten above the cloud. All right. It's safer that way. However, you can still get in if you have your confirmations. All right. Now GBP/USD was just called. Let's check. Let's check GBP/USD for a buy. What is the first thing we're going to do? Overall trend. So let's check 4 hours on 1 hour. Let's see what we are looking at. Okay, it's in the support zone, so it's going on a buy. You can see our red above the blue already. Okay, and if we check, if we use Kinashi candle, that's on 4 hour. Let's check daily. Okay. Let me check my support and resistance. Sorry, trying to be very sure of the trend. Okay, it's in a support zone. It's in a support zone. What do I mean? It got to this level, it reversed. Okay, and this level also is having some kind of let's go to the normal candle. Okay, you can see that when it got to this point, it reversed. When it got to this point, it reversed, then it broke it. When it got to this point, it also reversed. So it's in a support zone. All right. And you can see that on daily, you're already having a blue candle on your normal candle, right? So let's check 4 hours. So it seems that it's also already reversing on 4 hours also for the buy. Okay, let's check 1 hour. Okay. All this large time frame that I'm checking is just to confirm trend. It's not for entry. Okay, not for entry. Okay, so look at this. How do you know an uptrend? How do you know uptrend? When you are having a higher high and a lower low. A higher high and a lower low. This is what I mean. Let me quickly explain to you that I was just joining. How do you know an uptrend? When you're having a higher high, lower low, then it goes high again, low, it goes high again, low, higher high. So at this point, it's called the higher high. Higher high. So this one is higher than the last high. Okay, that's how you know an uptrend. Okay, good. And of course, a downtrend. You can already see that lower high and lower low. All right, good. Now we can see that already on our 1 hour. Let's go back. You can see that already on our 1 hour. It moved high, low, moved high, low, moved high, low. You can see that trend line that I just drew. In case you can't see it, let me use red color. Let me bold in it. So you can see this trend line shows that it is actually going up. Okay. And of course, it could also be a flag. It could also be a flag. That means it can just go up for a while. Okay. And then start dropping. Okay. So it could also be a flag. So put that into mind. Okay. So let's go back to our Ikinashi candle. That will give us confirmation. So on 15 minutes, GBP/USD was called for a buy. Let me remove all these trend lines. Now, based on our Ikinashi candle, you can see for yourself that it is not a good time to enter. Why? Because you're already seeing what? Red candle, and it's even going below the covering. That's the red line. Your red line is your covering. Your red line is your safe zone. That red line is your safe zone. As long as the candles are above the red line, it's good for a buy. If they are below the red line, it's good for a sell. So on 15 minutes, even at a glance, that is the good thing about this new strategy that I'm just teaching you. I just discovered. Even at a glance, you will know whether to take the trade or not. You will know. So you can see that your red line, this is that red line. You can see your red line. The candles are already getting below. This is like an exit zone. You know, I told you when to exit the trade. So if you have been buying at this point, when you see the first red candle, okay, that is below, that the body closed below the red line, is your exit. Nobody should tell you to stay. You already know your exit zone. So we are actually at an exit zone. Can it still buy? Yes, but we need to wait for us to see our green candle again above this red line. Above this red line. Okay, so that means there's no entry here. Do you understand how simple this strategy is? Look at this. If Web Analyzer called a buy here, it would have been in the buy. You can see that you are only seeing blue. So as long as you are seeing blue, stay. Now you've seen a red. Look at this red. As a matter of fact, this first red, I'm coming. Let me move this down. As you're buying, you saw a red. This red, I'm still going to stay in the trade because the body of that first red did not close below the red line. You can see it's only wick that you can see below, the wick of the candle, not the body. So I can still stay. But as long as I have my body below, then I will exit. Immediately I exit, it gave me another entry, another blue candle above. Then I start buying again, I start buying again, I start buying again, I start buying again. So you can have multiple entries. Immediately I have my red candle close below the red line. You can see this particular candle close below the red line. I will exit again. Okay? The same thing for the sell here. You're selling, you're selling, you're selling, you're selling, you're selling. You have a blue candle here, but the blue candle did not close above your red line. You still stay in the trade. You're selling, you're selling. Now you have your blue candle close above the red line. What are you going to do? Exit. That means that you can have multiple entries on one pair using this strategy. Okay, that means you can have multiple entries. Look at this. If you're buying, you're buying, you're buying, you're buying, you're buying, you still have your blue, you still have your blue. I'm not going to exit yet. I don't have my body, the body of the red candle. I don't have it close below. At this point, the body of the red candle close below the red line. I will go out, which has given me a sell again. I'll be selling, 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 selling. Once I have the body of my blue candle close above the red line, I exit again. See how simple it is. Look at your buy. You're buying, you're buying, you're buying. Once I have your red candle close below. So you don't have too much of drawdowns. That's the whole idea. You know, you ask me that, Mr. Wole, should I still stay in the trade? You already know when to exit the trade yourself. So it means that your losses will be minimal and your profits will be much more. Higher profit, lower loss. That's the whole idea. Higher profit, lower loss. So with all what I've showed you, look at it from the beginning. Look at this one. Once you have your TK, red below blue, okay, that means you will enter somewhere here. Then you keep on with the trade. Then at this blue candle, look at this blue candle, the body close above the red. So if you've taken this trade, for instance, you'll have gotten in somewhere here and then exit somewhere here. 40 pips. Now you are not just limited to 10 pips. You are confident that this trade is going still in your direction. Why? Because you are using a momentum candle, a Kinashi candle. You are confident, you're staying, you are catching more pips, and then you know the right time to exit. Look at a sell. Look at sell. Look at sell. Started moving, started moving, started moving, started moving, started moving. So if you had entered, would have entered somewhere here. Where did we have our red cross? Okay, this is where we saw our, red below blue, right? We saw our red below blue here. Okay, if you want to enter this trade, look at what we'll have done. We'll have entered somewhere here for a sell, and then we'll keep riding. We saw a blue here, but the blue body did not close above the red, right? We keep on. At this point, the blue body closed above the red. That means that we caught about 35 pips or 34 pips. Okay, then we exit. Then we saw another entry here. That means the sell still continued. Then we can re-enter. When you have the body of your red below the red line again, you re-enter. Then you keep riding. You keep riding until you see the body of this blue. So that means you will exit here realistically, right? Because you can now see the body of your blue candle above the red. So realistically, you exit here. Another 50 pips. Then you got another entry again for a sell. Notice that you are not going for buy. That is why I said it is important for you to know the trend first. So if you know the trend, that is a sell trend, the only thing you are looking for is a sell. Even though you can catch some buys. But you know that you can't even really catch, because at this point, the red, you only catch buy when you have your red above blue, right? So at this point, you had your red above blue, but Aikashi candle is not giving you blue candle or green candle here. So realistically, we'll have gotten again here when we have our red cross below blue. Okay, so that means we'll have entered here again, and then we'll stay in the trade until this point, another 36 pips. Another 36 pips. Yes, if you want to use this strategy, then you will be monitoring your trade. That means that because the candle closes and ends every 15 minutes, that means in every hour, you will need to just check. In every hour, you need to check and 4 times every hour, 4 times every hour, 4 times. So if you check 12 o'clock, you discover that your candles are still okay. Okay, they are still under the, if you're selling, for instance, they are still under the red line. Okay, continue, leave it, check again 12:15. You see that they are still under the red line. Go, check again 12:30. If it's still above under the red line for a sell, cool. And then you go on and on like that. All right, let me look at the questions. When the red candle forms below the red line, wouldn't that have thrown you into negative? When the red candle forms below the red line, I seem not to understand that question. So I want you to ask it in this way, that if you are going for a buy or if you are going for a sell and this happen, something like that, it will be clearer. Okay. So of course you will need to be monitoring your trade. Like I said, every 15 minutes, that's from Darkly. Every 15 minutes, be monitoring your trade, okay? So that you will know when to exit the trade, when to exit. You don't need anybody to tell you when to get out of a trade. Okay? So with this strategy, you can discover that, fine, will there be losses? Yes, but your losses will be minimal. Your losses might not even be more than 15 pips and thereabout, because you are getting out at the first candle that goes against your direction and that has touched the red line. First candle against your direction that touched the red line. So you might have a lot of candle against your direction, but below the red line, you can still stay. But once the body of that candle touches the red line, then you get out of the trade. Let's look at another example with Euro JPY. We're supposed to buy Euro JPY, but let's go whether it has given us. So immediately you click on Euro JPY, the candle will change by default again to a normal candle. So all you have to do is to click on that Kinashi candle. Okay. So can you see why, if we had entered Euro JPY, you can see now that we'll be in negative, because Euro JPY actually was called when we are supposed to exit the trade. You can see this candle is about closing. Is about closing below the red line, but we need to watch. We need to watch if it is still close, because this is just 11:45. This candle started forming. Okay, so if you are taking it from here, normally we still be in that trade right now till 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, we will now know the fate of this particular candle that is forming, that has started forming. By 12 o'clock, we will know if it will close below this red line or it will not close. So by 12 o'clock, if you have started taking this buy from here, by 12 o'clock, we will know whether to close the trade or not. Okay, let's say we started selling somewhere here after the red candle, crossed above the blue. We started selling somewhere here. Okay, all right. Because this blue has not closed below the red, we can still maintain and then look at, and then we exit here. All right. So we don't know the fate of this candle. So the fact that it's closing below the red doesn't mean that it will eventually close below the red. It's by 12 o'clock that you will know the fate of this candle. Like I said, every 15 minutes. So you have to hold on until 12 o'clock. If that means if you have been buying. Okay. When you are buying, when you're buying and the red candle forms below the red line against your direction, wouldn't that have been thrown you into negative? It depends on your entry. And if it throws you into negative, trust me, the negative will not be much. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's assume that.
Okay, may I ask directly? Maybe you'll understand what I'm saying better.
Okay.
Okay, using this analogy you're showing us now, this screen we are looking at.
Okay.
When you're buying, it's been going green, 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 green. Yeah. At that point where the red candle closes below the red line.
Okay.
At that point you want to exit. Wouldn't you have thrown you into debit at that point? Wouldn't it have wiped out all the profit you have made up to that point?
Likely,
if you want to
no, it wouldn't. It depends on your entry. See, this is what I'm trying to say. Let's assume that you enter the trade. You can see my mouse, right? The red above blue somewhere here. The red came above blue somewhere here. So maybe you could have entered the trade somewhere here. Somewhere here. So if you'd have entered, okay. So from here to that started going up, then reversed, okay. And then let's say the red candle closed below and it stopped somewhere here. Somewhere here. That's 9 pips. Though you got to about 15 pips, then it reversed, then it took you out maybe somewhere here. That's about 8 to 9 pips in profit already. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're not losing. Okay, it's only telling you to know the right time to enter. Now, this particular trade can still give you an opportunity to enter, for instance. So once you see your blue candle form above the red line, I mean the green candle form above the red line, confirm also on 5 minutes that you have similar stuff, confirm on 1 minute that you have similar stuff. So once you confirm that, then you can enter. That's if it gives you another opportunity. And then once you enter, as long as you're seeing your green line, stay in. But if you're someone that's, your target is actually 10 pips, you can go for your 10 pips. But what I'm trying to say is that this strategy gives you much more confidence to stay in the trade. It gives you much more confidence. You know the momentum. Aiki candle tells you if the buyers are winning or the sellers are winning. It's not like the usual candle. So let's go to usual candle and see what you're going to see. See, blue, 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 red, blue, red. See, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. It's not showing you the momentum. So normally, if you're using the normal candle, if you see this long blue candle, this particular blue candle, you're like, it's like this one will reverse. So, and then you panic and you close, not knowing that it's still going to drop. But with the Aiki candle, it gives you confidence that, man, stay in the trade for now. Still stay. Don't exit yet. Okay, that's why you can see Aiki candle is mainly red, 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 red here. All right, that's what Aiki candle will do. And you discover that that's what we also use with, with the harmonic candle, Aiki candle. All right. So let's look at another example. Let's look at USD CHF that was called about 2 hours ago for a buy. Let's check. So it's called for a buy. Okay, on 15 minutes. So let me change it to Aiki candle. Okay. Now, using the Aiki candle, it actually shows that it's a buy right now on 15 minutes. Though there is a little resistance here because it got to this point reverse, got to this point reverse. Now it's at that point. But with the Aiki candle, you can see that it's actually a buy at this point. Okay, then you check your 5 minutes. Do you have your red above blue? Yes, same thing on 5 minutes now. 5 minutes confirmed. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute confirmed. So it means that right now that we are talking, we can actually buy USD CHF. Let me check on 1 hour to confirm the trade. Yeah, it's a buy on 1 hour. It's also a buy on 4 hours. Okay, so that means USD CHF has given us a good opportunity to buy right now. Now, if you start buying now, when are you going to exit the trade? That's the question. Though I really do not like what I'm seeing with USD CHF, and I will tell you why. The reason is that look at the blue line. The blue line is just straight. It's straight. The blue line, if the blue line is straight, it shows you that it's consolidating. You can see the blue line is straight. It's not going towards any direction. You can see. Okay, but with our candle formation, it is telling us a buy. But with our TK is the red and blue. The blue is not telling us that it's still going up. Okay, because you can see this particular blue, for instance, pointing down, red pointing down. Okay, shows you that it's going down. Red and blue going up here, you can see. So once I have a little movement like this from my blue, I hope you can see that. Once I have something like this, okay, just a little movement like this, okay, then it will be a very good chance for me to enter. And I am confident of it. I will stay in it as long as I'm still seeing my blue candles above my red line. Above my red line. So if my red line is going this way and I'm seeing my green candles, you know, forming this way, forming this way, forming this way, forming this way, I'm staying, I'm staying, I'm staying. Even if I see a little, red candle, you know, something like this. Even if I see a red candle like this, I'm still going to stay because it has not closed below that red line. Are you getting it now? Now, I'm still going on, I'm still going on, you know, but immediately I see a red candle that does this, the body closed below the red line, I exit. If I see the body of the red candle close below the red line, I exit immediately. That's all. That's all. So with this strategy, it means that even if you're going to lose, you're not going to lose big. So let's assume that you entered wrongly. You entered somewhere here. I mean somewhere here. Let me show you. Somewhere here. You enter somewhere here for a buy. Okay, you can see where I circled. Now, if you had entered there, the next candle that started forming was red, and then another red. So you would have lost the trade, but how many pips would you have lost? You enter somewhere here, and then you close below this red candle. Look at it, 5 pips. 5 pips. And you saw that the red candle has formed below the red line. You quickly exit. 5 pips, not too much. So I've backtested this strategy and I discovered that the worst case scenario from what I've backtested was 16 pips against. 16 pips against you. That's the worst I've seen. And the good thing is that you can catch 60 pips. You can catch 70 pips here. Okay, the worst I've seen is 16 pips, and I've seen it only once. I backtested it. That means I moved back to, I think February. I started with February. Then I started, you know, testing it forward, looking at it. Will this actually work? Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? And I started testing it. The only thing here is that on 15 minutes, don't trade when the candles are inside the cloud. Something like this. Don't trade. Don't trade a consolidated market. How will you know a consolidated market? You are seeing blue, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. You are not seeing a momentum. You are not seeing something like this, blue, blue, blue. You are only seeing blue, red, blue, red. It's a consolidated market. Okay? Don't trade consolidated market. Okay? So this will always give you profit if you understand how it works. So what I want you to do is that we're going to have, we're going to start having a group work here, a group work, okay? So if you have Web Analyzer, if you are subscribed to Web Analyzer, please type in 3. I mean, anybody that has Web Analyzer, type in 3. I want to know how many of you have Web Analyzer right now. I want to know. Okay, Darkly Emmanuel, Victor, Ololeya. Okay, so with this, we're going to have Mr. Elvis. Okay, good. Now with this, we're going to have a group task. Okay, Mr. Lasisi, we're going to have a group task. Okay. Now this is what we're going to do. Mr. Lasisi and Mr. Komashi. Whenever there is an opportunity in Web Analyzer, I don't want to talk about this. The only thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be doing my daily training for you. Okay, Mr. Komashi and Mr. Lasisi, whenever there's an opportunity like this, you've seen it using your Akinashi Candle, screenshots and inform the house. Okay, Mr. Komashi can be because he's working also and all of that, but that's why I selected 2. So I'm going to select 3 instead of 2. So Mr. Darkly Ekpe, I don't know the pronunciation, I'm sorry. Darkly Ekpe, Lasisi, and Komashi. When there's an opportunity, screenshot and inform the house. When there's an opportunity, screenshot and inform the house. Okay? Mr. Emmanuel, Victor, and Olaleye, When it's time for us to exit, inform the house that we now have a reversal candle that has closed below the red line. Inform the house. Okay? Good. So,
sorry, I didn't hear that, Mr. Olu. Come again, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who did I call for? I called 3 persons for entry. If I called you for entry, type in 111. If I called you for entry, type in 111. If I called you for exit, type in 222. Okay. Mr. Darkley, Mr. Komashi, and Mr. Lasisi. Your job for this week is to inform the house of entries. Okay. Mr. Victor, who else? Emmanuel and Olaleye. Emmanuel and Olaleye. Your job for this week, we'll be shuffling it. Okay, next week we're going to give the task to some other people. Okay, because the whole idea is for you guys to be independent. You don't really need me, honestly. My job is just to show you the way. Okay, is to inform the house of exits. Okay, and I'm going to post that also on the WhatsApp group. Okay. All right, is that clear? So that means that you need to, even if you're working, open a tab of Web Analyzer. Once you hear the bell sound, just check. Now, the fact that I didn't call your name doesn't mean that you can't do any of this task. Okay, so they might not see it, you might see it, and then you inform the house. Okay, good. So is that clear? Any questions so far? Is this looking simple? Is this something you can do? Especially people that are just joining us for the first time. Would have gone in for a trade, but unfortunately we're not seeing any trade. And because we're not seeing any trade, we can't force a trade. We can't force it. If we see a trade, we go in big time. And if you are not seeing a trade, we'll leave it. So based on Web Analyzer ECC WoleOlu strategy, no entry. For now, no entry. We can see USD CHF is good on 15 minutes. On 5 minutes is good. On 1 minute is good. Oh, USD CHF, there is entry. Actually, there is entry on USD CHF. Okay, but the only challenge I'm having, okay, I think we can go for USD CHF. Stay in it as long as you have your blue candle. So if you're in charge of exits, ensure that you inform the house. You already know the exit strategy. Okay. Now we have our entry. You remember I told you that our blue was straight. Remember that I wasn't confident. Now can you see the curve? Can you see the curve on the blue? Oh my, USD CHF buy. If you hear me, if you see me that I am quiet, I'm entering a trade.
So, Olu, should we enter the trade?
You are still asking. Don't ask me, oh. Ask the strategy. I'm not saying you should enter. If the analysis is telling you to enter, then enter.
Please enter.
So what is the analysis telling you to do? Is the analysis telling you to enter?
Yes, yes.
With what I've explained, is it telling you to enter?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
USD CHF, buy.
So if it's telling you to enter the trade, then enter. Are we going to win it? I don't know. We can see a red candle right now, Abby, and the red candle closes below the red line. Immediately we see that we exit. We are not losing much. Do you get? That's the whole idea about this strategy. Now, I am not using take profits, but I can use stop loss. Maybe I'll put my stop loss somewhere here. Maybe at, let me see. Let me see. Maybe somewhere, maybe I'll just use about 20 pips stop loss. I'll use about 20 pips stop loss. But it's not even going to get to 20 pips before I exit. If it's going against me, look at where 20 pips is. It's not even going to get to 20 pips before I exit if it's going against me. My rule for going against me is that red candle closes below this red line, then I exit. But for now, you are confident. You are so sure of what you are doing, like so sure, like super sure of what you are doing. Now you have your green. You can see your green, that's money line. It's still confirming. So that means that this trade is likely to get to at least this point. Okay, because you have your money line confirming that. Okay. Let me check that also on 4 hours. We have our money line on 4 hours also very up here.
Okay.
So all you have to do for people that are in charge of exits, inform the house when it is time for exits. You already know the time for exits. I don't have to explain it again. Okay. All right. For people that missed it, apologies, but it's recorded. So immediately after this session, it's going to take a while before the videos can, be saved. But immediately after this session, I'm going to save it, and then you can watch on YouTube. But well, let me just recap again. Let me recap again. All right, now our normal entry is that, our normal rule is that once we have our red above blue, we'll buy, red below blue, we sell. Okay, now what we have introduced is using a momentum candle called Aiki-Nashi candle. Momentum candle called Aiki-Nashi candle. Okay, so what you have to do is to click on this drop down arrow, bar styles, and then you select Aiki-Nashi. Now, Aiki-Nashi shows you momentum of the trade. It shows you the real direction. Is the buyer winning or the sellers are winning? It will give you more confidence, because if you are seeing the normal candle, you want to exit. Okay, you won't be confident, you want to exit, but the Aiki-Nashi candle gives you confidence. Okay, now aside our normal entry, if you know the rule before now, aside our normal entry, we now use the Aiki-Nashi candle to know our entry and our exit points. Okay, now you don't need anybody to tell you when to get out of the trade. If it's going against you, you don't need anybody to tell you how to get out of the trade. So if you enter this trade, now you're going to stay in as long as you're having your green candles above your red line. So this is what I mean. Let's assume that this is your red line, is still continuing here. All right. And then you are having your green candle, something like this, forming here. It's still above the red line, or you can even drop a little below, but it's still green candle, stay. You can drop a little below, but it's still a green candle, stay. As a matter of fact, what I also say is that if you still have some red candles, a little red candles, but it's still above the red line, stay, stay, stay. You might still have green candle coming up next, but immediately you have a red candle close below this red line, close below the red line, that is your exit point. That is your exit point. You get out of the trade. That's the only thing that I have added here. Now, the good thing about this strategy is that it helps you to catch more pips. Number one. Number two, it gives you extra confidence not to rush out of a trade. It enables you to catch more pips. It gives you extra confidence not to rush out from the trade. And number three, which is also very important, it helps you cut your losses on time. It helps you cut your losses on time. Like I said, I've back tested this over and over before. I've been testing this for like 2 weeks. Okay, but I never mentioned it to anybody. All right, I've been testing this for like 2 weeks, back test to ensure that this strategy of mine is accurate. And I discovered that over time, the worst case scenario was 16 pips against me. 16 pips against. That's been the worst case scenario. All right, another thing is that you don't want to use this when there is news. So one thing that we failed to check was our news. So let's quickly check Forex Factory. If you want to check news for people that are just coming in, you go to forexfactory.com. Okay. So today is Monday. There is no red folder today. No red news today, Monday. Okay, let's check for the week, Monday to Friday. Now, also for this week, Mr. Ubong, I'm going to give you an assignment this week. All right, I know you're working, but I'm sure you can do this. Every day in the morning, the news for the day, maybe 8 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning, the news for the day for the week, you're going to screenshot, for instance, tomorrow, Tuesday, new loan, USD. You're going to screenshot this and send to the group. You're going to do that for throughout this week. Next week, we're going to shuffle it up again. Just do that in the morning, just screenshot and send to the group. It will help us in case we forget. All right, so that will be your task for this week. Okay, you don't want to trade it when there is news, because you know if you're selling, it can drop massively. All right, good. So let me clear all this.
Mr. Wole, are you saying, is it just high impact news only or all the news?
High impact news.
Okay.
Yes, high impact news. Let's check GBP/USD. Can you see what I'm talking about? If you had bought GBP/USD from Web Analyzer, see, let's go to our momentum candle. Can you see? So that means that GBP/USD might actually be giving us a sell. What are we waiting for? We are just waiting for our red to come below the blue. Though Web Analyzer called a buy, but once we have our red below the blue on 15 minutes and we have that on 5 minutes, we already have it on 5 minutes anyway. 1 minute, we already have it on 1 minute. So we are waiting for 15 minutes, red below blue on 15 minutes. Once we have our red below blue on 15 minutes, we can go in for a sell on GBP/USD. So this is what we are waiting for. Let me just give you. We are waiting for this red to come this way. Okay. Let me move. Oh, sorry. I want to move this. Let me move this. Okay, it's better this way. So we are waiting for this to happen. And once it happens, this way, okay, and then we are waiting for blue to do something like this, okay, and also be going in that same direction, okay, and then what we're expecting to see based on our Akenashi candle is what? Red, 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 red. That's our sell. Red, red, something like that. And if we see green still below, we are still fine. But if you now see our green above the red, that's our exit. That's our exit. Simple as F9. Very simple as F9. F9 is one of the simplest things on that. Just write your name and submit. Yes, only impact news. You can show us red and yellow. Red and yellow. That's high impact news and the ones that follow that impact news. Okay, so that means that you can filter it in such a way like this. Let's see. Your filter will be this red and then this orange, not yellow, red and orange. Okay, because sometimes the orange color also is quite, sometimes, not all times, can also be strong. Okay, so you can see that what I have here is red and orange. Red and orange. So tomorrow, 145 USD, we have, a high impact news. Federal Chair Powell speaks. I'm not sure it's going to be high impact news anyway. I'm not sure it's going to, because sometimes you have red folder and it's not always high impact. If what Chairpower want to speak about is not something serious, then it's not going to do anything. Okay. FOMC member, Bullard speaks. FOMC member, Qual speak. All these guys are just talking. So I think it's just going to be the same meeting. All right. So I'm waiting for a time where Buhari will speak and it will affect something. It can never affect anything. That's one of the problems we have in Nigeria. Even the highest person in the land, if he speaks, it's not going to check anything. It is well with this country. You can imagine if Trump wants to speak. Everywhere will be shaking. Or even if the governor of, US bank, American bank, only governor wants to speak, the serious impact of it on trade, it will be massive. Let's talk of the president. In fact, president doesn't even have to speak. Only tweets. Only his tweets will change things. Yeah. But Nigeria, they can't even hear his voice themselves. When he's speaking, we can't even hear. It's not even clear. Nobody is even putting attention. Most of the things he has been saying are condolences. Condolences. Congratulations to the governor for winning this election. Is where Nigeria will be better. All right. So now we have our task for this week. Ensure you do your task. Don't wait for me. See, if you're waiting for opportunity, ask the people that are in charge. I might not be available. That's why I'm giving you the task. And if I'm available, good. If I'm not available, we have able hands that will do it. Able hands. By next week, it can get to your turn. Okay, that's how we become leaders. All right. So tomorrow, I'm going to give another serious task tomorrow. Serious task tomorrow. Who should I call? Who should I call? Who should I call? I want to call a newbie that just started with us not too long. I don't want to call any old person. Hello, Larry. Hello, Larry. Can you hear me? Is Larry there? Larry, I unmuted you. Can you speak? Can't speak. Okay. Yes, you can set 30 pips. I mean, you can set 20 pips, but of course, you can't get to 20 pips before you will know when to exit or whether you will exit or not. Maybe 6 pips, 7 pips, or 8 pips against you. You'll have seen that red candle, then you will exit. So it won't get to 20 pips, but just set 20 pips, yeah? Okay. That's the beauty about this strategy. That's why I love it so much. You will exit at the right time. You are not wasting time. You are not losing too much. Okay. Adekunle Adeyemi, can you hear me? Can you speak? Adekunle Adeyemi, can you speak? It's like these people just, in the class and then walked away. Pastor Elvis, can you speak? Pastor Elvis. Okay. Who else should I call? We can get to you. Okay, no problem, no problem. I'm looking for somebody that will speak. Victor Drojaye, can you speak? Where you are? You are muted. Victor Durujaye, can you speak? Or you're somewhere where you can't speak?
Why? Because of the social.
No. Where is I don't want to call somebody that. Ronke, can you speak where you are? Ronke, can you speak where you are?
No.
Okay. If you can speak where you are, just type in 2. I'm going to unmute you. If you can speak where you are, there might be something for you. Just chat in the group now. We can speak where you are. Let's be fast. This is the final thing we want to do. If you can speak where you are. I'm not getting any response. What is happening? I think we're done with the class, so let me stop the recording so that it won't be too much when I'm uploading. All right, so thank you very much for listening. Please ensure that you subscribe to my channel on YouTube, all right, for more videos. Thank you.